Alright lads, welcome to another one of my vehicle reviews. Whether you're a new subscriber or a long time viewer, thank you very much for stopping by today. Today we're going to be covering the F-5E. There are several other F5 variants in this game, but the E model represents the most modern currently in the game. Due to this plane is located in the 7th rank of the American tech tree and located at battle rating 11.0. To unlock this plane, you'll have to grind out 390,000 research points before purchasing the vehicle for a cost of 1,020,000 silver lions. Being a tech tree vehicle, you will then also have to pay a huge crew train cost of 290,000 silver lions. Due to the nature of the F-5E being a brawler and dogfighter, you will almost certainly need the expert in ace qualifications, costing you 1,020,000 silver lions and 2,800 golden eagles respectively. Although the F-5E is a top tier jet, it has a relatively low repair cost of 6,904 silver lions. It's worth bearing in mind of course that this is quite a new vehicle, so that repair cost may increase in the future. Moving on to the rewards, and in realistic battles with a premium account, you'll have an RP modifier of 464% and a silver line modifier of 240%. In terms of customization, you have 3 camouflage available to unlock for golden eagles. In this video we're going to cover the performance and firepower of the vehicle before finishing with a conclusion. Moving on to the performance, and the F-5E is powered by 2 General Electric J85 GE21A engines. Each one of these engines produces 1,480 kg of force at military power and 2,220 kg of force at afterburning power. This gives the F-5E pretty good acceleration abovely at transonic speeds, around Mach 0.95. These engines can get the plane up to a top speed of 1,778 km per hour at an altitude of 11,000 meters. However, you will rarely go this high. When flying with clean wings, the F-5E has a rate of climb of 149.1 meters per second, notably lower than the MiG-21 BIS's 225 meters per second climb rate. This plane isn't the fastest jet in the block, but it is incredibly mobile. The F-5E can outturn pretty much every other jet in the game, with the exception of maybe the F-5C. It has a turn time of 26 seconds. This is the time it takes the plane to do a complete 360-degree turn. This turn time does depend on the speed that you go into the turn, and whether or not you're using your flaps. This rate of turn is notably higher than most other jets in the game, hence why the expert in ace crew qualifications are so important, as your pilot will over-G pretty quickly. Trying to fly this plane with a stock crew, or low level crew, is incredibly painful and you will get incredibly pissed off. To summarise, the F-5E is very quick off the line, but doesn't really have that high-end top speed found with other top tier jets, such as the F-4E Phantom and the MiG-21s. This means you can't really deny enemies the chance to fight you, as they will always be able to catch you, but the one advantage you will always have is your ability to outturn an opponent. This turn rate, combined with your flares on chaff, make you incredibly hard to kill if you're paying attention. This forces an enemy to dedicate a lot of time to killing you, which in turn leaves them vulnerable to your teammates. While you can carry in this plane, it is better utilised being a supporting plane, getting stuck into the middle of a fight, and allowing your Phantoms and other allied jets to clean up the what's left. Alright ladies and gents, moving on to that good stuff, the weaponry. And the F-5E's stock weaponry are the 20mm M39A3 cannons. You carry 560 rounds, equivalent to 280 rounds per gun. They have a very high fire rate of 1,700 rounds per minute, and they hit like absolute freight trains. These fairly easy to use guns, combined with the plane's great turn fighting ability, makes this plane one of the best dogfighters around. That, and the fact that you now get stock missiles, makes this plane one of the best stock jets in the game. Like many other top tier jets, you can also carry additional weaponry, in the form of a 30mm GAU-13/A cannon. This is essentially a large gun pod mounted to the belly of the aircraft. You can hold 353 rounds in total, and it holds an armour penetrating round, capable of penetrating over 102mm of armour at 10 meters. However, at the more practical combat range of 1000 meters, it can still penetrate 75mm of armour, more than enough to penetrate the roofs and side of most Soviet or Chinese main battle tanks. We then have a selection of bombs. You can carry 500 pound bombs with 117 kg of TNT, giving it a destructive radius of 8 meters, 750 pound bombs carrying 206 kg of TNT with an explosive radius of 11 meters, 1,000 pound bombs with 272 kg of TNT with an explosive radius of 13 meters, and finally a single 2,000 pound bomb containing a whopping 578 kg of TNT destroying any vehicle within a radius of 20 meters. The bombs are alright, but if you want a weapon ferry, then the F-4E or the F-100 is a better choice in my opinion. Just like all the other American multi-role fighters, you can carry a selection of rockets. The first up are the Mighty Mouse. They travel at 701 meters per second and can penetrate 290mm of armor with their high explosive anti-tank warheads. A downside is the fact that they carry a relatively low warhead of 1.1 kilograms of TNT, giving these missiles pretty poor post-penetration damage. You can also carry the Zuni Mark 32s. These travel slightly faster at 722 meters per second and can penetrate 457mm of armor, again with a high explosive anti-tank warhead. However, these rockets carry a whopping 8.9 kilograms of TNT, giving them incredibly good explosive penetration damage. A direct hit with a Zuni is almost certainly going to cause major, if not fatal damage to an enemy vehicle. However, the Zuni rockets are much larger than the Mighty Mouse, so you can only carry a fraction of the Zunis compared to what you can carry with the Mighty Mouse. The F-5E can also carry the AGM-65B air-to-ground missile. This carries a warhead with 51 kilograms of TNT, giving it insane post-penetration damage, as well as just sheer penetration, being able to penetrate 830mm of armor. These missiles are great for ground attack, and truly does make the F-5E a true multi-role fighter. We then come on to the missiles, and your stock missiles are their AIM-9B Sidewinders. They have a maximum overload of 10 Gs, and in theory, can be launched from a range of 4 kilometers. How I'd never recommend doing this. The AIM-9Bs have a cage seeker, which means you will have to keep the center circle directly on a target, making it incredibly hard to lead these missiles. At batter rating 11.0, they're pretty much useless. I mean, they're borderline useless at batter rating 9.0, never mind 11. This issue is slightly addressed with the AIM-9E Sidewinder. Again, just like the B variant, they have a maximum overload of 10 Gs, but theoretically have a slightly longer lock range of 5.5 kilometers. The AIM-9Es are slightly uncaged, meaning you can lead these missiles a little bit. The issue is well and truly solved with your last missile, the AIM-9GA. The maximum overload doubles to 20 Gs, and you can fire one of these missiles whilst pulling 7 Gs, something the previous two missiles were unable to do. The AIM-9Js are just insane. No doubt if you've already played War Thunder at top tier, you'll know just how dominant the American teams are at the minute, mainly down to these missiles. Compared to the R-60s, the Soviet equivalent, the AIM-9Js don't seem to be upset by flares as much, making them much more powerful on the battlefield. And that's it for the F-5E's weaponry. To conclude, when stock, this plane is pretty good. Its cannons will get you most of the kills, but as soon as you unlock those AIM-9Js, those missiles are going to be smooth sailing. Remember, try and bait enemies into a turn fight, as they can always run away from you, and you will not be able to catch them. This can be a slightly frustrating playstyle for some players, as an enemy could theoretically just continuously run away from you, and there would be nothing that you could do to catch them. Alright, moving on to the conclusion. Before I start, I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below about what you think about this vehicle, and what vehicle you'd like to see next. It's my personal belief that the F-5E is one of the best jets currently in the American tech trade. While its playstyle is different to the F-4E Phantom, it is a truly rewarding plane to fly. I do have a little bit of experience in top tier jets. I consider myself to be about average, but even I have had some great games and some cracking carries. I'm not for a second saying that this is due to my player skill. It's almost certainly due to the Russian teams being incredibly poor at the minute, but it would be absolutely stupid for anybody to say that this plane is not amazing. It has great guns, great missiles, and pretty good high speed performance, as well as low speed maneuverability. The plane does have some downsides. It lacks high end top speed, it is easily beaten by the MiGs, both the 21 and the 23, and it can only carry 2 AIM-9Js, compared to most other top tier vehicles carrying at least 4 to 6 of the equivalent top missile for that nation. After your first 2 missile launches, which if you're smart is basically guaranteed 2 kills, you will be down to using your cannons. This is harder than using missiles, but it is still easily doable, as you've seen in the footage in the background. This does slightly increase the skill ceiling of this plane, as you have to be a fairly decent shot, but the cannons are high velocity and more importantly predictable, making it overall a relatively easy plane to fly. One downside, which isn't really due to the physical plane itself, is the cost of flying this plane. While the repair cost is pretty low, you will absolutely need the expert and hopefully the ace qualification for this plane. As I said in the introduction, due to this plane's main defense being its ability to turn, you will rapidly over-G your crew members, if you do in fact have a low crew skill. So if you are serious about playing this plane, make the investment in that expert crew, and hopefully an ace crew. It will help you out incredibly. But to finish up, yeah lads, this plane is great. I really enjoyed flying it. It's a great dogfighting, snappy type brawling type jet. I'd say it isn't as reliable as the F-4E Phantom, but it's a lot more rewarding, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't play War Thunder just to grind, I play it to have some fun. So if that sounds like your type of plane, then I'd absolutely recommend grinding out this vehicle. If you did enjoy this review, please do consider liking and subscribing, and remember to comment down below what vehicle you'd like to see next. As I said in the introduction, whether you're a new subscriber or a long time viewer, then thank you for stopping by today lads, and I'll see you in the next one.